So we're about to board our flight to Dublin, and I had these tips. Well, not these tips, but these tips from someone that came into the bar the other day. So I'm excited to just check out the city and base it all on recommendations that we got from people who have lived there in the past.
Yes.
Is it your first time here?
Yeah.
It is, yes, but I know where the temple bar
So
is.
there's loads of restaurants and they're really delicious food.
They're good?
Perfect.
Okay,
That's good to know.
love
We have made it to Dublin. It was like a little bit crazy getting, you know, airports are always crazy a little bit. But check out this view. This is our view of Dublin. As you can see, we have all the old buildings. We are extremely close to Temple Bar, which is like the alleyway or like the street with all of the restaurants, all the old pubs and everything. And in a little bit, we're going to go eat at the oldest pub in all of Dublin. So let's go. Let's get rocking. I guess I didn't really realize how like all European cities have like some sort of freaking canal or river in the middle. At least that's how it seems. But I'm getting definitely very hungry. It is golden hour, which is crazy because it's like 8:30 p.m. I'm so excited to eat something, anything. Brazen Head. The Brazen Head is where we're going.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Brazen Head.
Supposedly it's the oldest.
1189, I think, or
11?
1198. 1198.
Like
Have
one
some moldy food.
I know, just like the cheese, man. Okay. So being one of the oldest pubs in Dublin, there is a big story, and I'm so sorry that I don't have my microphone right now. Basically, the Brazen Head is in reference to an old tale of a bronze or brass head on a statue that actually could tell the future, and that's kind of like where this came from. There's documentation back to the 1600s about this pub, and then even before that, it's a hostelry. And I think it means that that this has been a place of hosting people for many, many years.
Guinness, baby.
We're planning out our day tomorrow since we really have only like one full day here. We're trying to figure out how to make the most of our time.
I'm gonna do flash. Hold on.
I was a little fast, but
Yeah, seafood chowder.
seafood chowder. We have
the beef.
bangers and mash,
And that's the
yeah,
bangers and mash.
and a beef stew. We heard the beef stew's amazing too, so let's eat. So we're loading up on our breakfast because today is quite literally going to be a marathon because we're starting the day at Guinness. So we need to make sure we're getting all of our nutrients, that our stomachs are full. Also, Europeans know how to do breakfast. If a continental breakfast looked like this in the US, I think the world would be a lot happier. It's 9:30 a.m. We're about to have a bunch of Guinness. That is so cool.
They make you Guinness?
Wait, that's the coolest thing.
Well, they do make a lot.
That's cute. Look at the amount of cells. Not only is this cool to learn about the history and everything and the brew process, but this is like an art museum. That's so creative.
They've had to keep their yeast alive since 1903.
I know.
We roast at exactly 232 degrees, 365 days per year.
I'm just interested because what is that at the end of his name? So another thing that's super cool is that the building that we're in, this storehouse, is actually in the shape of a giant pint glass. So if you can see all of the glass and everything that surrounds us. It's the Guinness symbol in light bulbs. That guy.
Talking about the two kids. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle.
So the thing about the Guinness place is that anything additional costs a lot of money. So there's a self-guided tour for like, I think it was like 20 or 25 euros, and then you can add additional things on. We're doing an addition, I think Logan said it was like an extra 8 euros a person, something along that, to pour our own Guinness. But there's also opportunities for like the tasting room for people to, you know, all sorts of different events. Hi. Oh, look at all the different stashes.
When you're pouring your beer, if you'd like to, use the Guinness logo on the glass to help you. It's on one side, but it's facing at the moment the Guinness word, the small golden harp. Just keep that so it's facing towards the tap handle all the way down nice and quickly. This is important, we want the right gas pressure from the start.
Top of the harp. All right.
Top of the house.
Top of the harp.
Di là, piano piano, spingi di là, un po', spingi di là, un altro po', dai, forza, la schiuma deve essere così, basta così, dai. First time I ever had it.
You remember the first time do you want to share it with the vlog or no?
Oh, it's the first time I ever had it. I lived in the UK, outside of Ipswich. We went to the Norwich Observatory. It's a college, and on campus they had a pub. So after our little tour of the observatory for weather, we went down and had a pint.
And that was the first time you had a Guinness?
I was like,
Cool story. I like
Yeah.
that. I have a fun story also. When I was living in France, this was the only beer I recognized on the menu when I first got there, and I was so nervous that I ordered this, and then it just kind of became what I drank when I was living in France, for a while at least.
I'm drinking Guinness right now at 10 a.m.
I know.
So with our tour, we got a little drink ticket, and to be honest, I went with the Hop House, the lager, because the Guinness is just like dark and a little heavier for me. So like I said, it's a marathon today. We're gonna be drinking a lot. We're going to Jameson after this, so I just wanted to, you know, take my time.
Depends on how you look
Oh,
at it.
that was so fast. Thank you. All right, cheers.
Okay, limey.
And now we're at the Jameson distillery.
Guinness is gonna win, you know that, right?
So if you hear your station's name on a pot still that comes in spray bottles, you can start spray the pot. But you have whiskey there from now, yeah? Great.
Dad is steadily denying me from taking a photo of him. He'd rather just do all his weird selfies. But anyway, the cool thing about the Barrel Man here is that the story of Jameson, as the tour guide was explaining, is not just about John Jameson. It's about every single worker who's ever played a part in this whole shebang. And that's a lot of people, including the tour guides. So if you come here, ask for Eva to be your tour guide. She was amazing. She did the American or the English speaking tour, which was amazing. She was so good at her job. Jameson tour was amazing. I couldn't take a lot of videos in there just because of how they asked us to, you know, respect each other. But it was amazing. We're, you know, buzzed enough to where we're ready to, like, we're just happy to be here staying warm on this chilly day, even though we came from Guinness to then also go to Jameson, or they kept saying Jameson. That's kind of how they said it. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah. Happy.
The whiskey was
Happy.
a little more volume than I was expecting.
I'm sandwiching the Jameson whiskey with Guinness.
I really like the Jameson Black.
The Black Barrel, I think it was. Yeah, the Black Barrel. It was good.
Yeah, but I don't know what they get it with. Like, I'm not gonna get a
On its
whiskey
own.
gin.
We're feeling a little buzzy for being 2 p.m., but
Oh wow.
so we got another stew. We got a fish and chips. Our first fish and chips. Do you know what kind of fish it is? Probably a cod.
Halibut.
Halibut.
Yeah, probably.
We're doing it just for the halibut.
In case you like sausage.
it's always slightly disheartening to see like the famous castles and attractions and things under construction. I don't know, I feel like it just takes away from the magic a little bit. In my personal opinion, granted, not everything is about tourists and not everything is about, you know, it's very egotistical to think that we are the reason for all of these things existing, right? But it's always nice when you actually get to see it for like what it is, the history that it is there, rather than like renovations and all of that.
I often get asked, does it represent or symbolize anything? No, it's just
Wow, look at this. This is such a cool monument. This guy taking a selfie.
walking towards please. Or not a walking towards.
I feel like we're not supposed to be on the grass.
I think they're dancing with fire.
I think they're dancing
I
too.
thought they were doing a selfie.
Dad thinks this art is them taking a selfie. Chaos ensues as I was told the wrong location for what I was looking for exactly. Chesterfield Library, very cool, great museum. But I want to see the library. And so we're off to there, I think. I think it is also the library that was in Harry Potter. Not that I'm a big Potterhead at all, but I'm interested in the books. And I think it'd be really cool to see. So what we just learned upon arriving to the Trinity Library, even though we hustled over here before closing, it's a paid experience, which I guess we should have known that. But it's a paid experience for half of the stuff that was originally in there that made it attractive to not even be available anymore. So we're actually not going. I'll put a picture here of what it was we were going to visit. It would be like 30 euros to have like less than an hour to walk around in there, and half the stuff that's exciting to us, like all the books that were there are already have been removed for conservation efforts. Also, almost 94% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you've enjoyed anything so far that you've seen, click that subscribe button and come along with me for the journey. There's a lot more coming up this summer, I promise you. So right here next to Trinity College, we have the Parliament building. And I was just speaking with my family, asking like what it must be like to always be like surrounded by very old buildings and architecture. Because in the United States, the oldest building we have is like maybe 50 years old. Even the memorials for the presidents and everything in DC is like relatively new. Like, these buildings are so old and they've been around for ages and ages. There's so much knowledge, so much information and all of that. So it's just very intriguing to me what it must be like growing up and like having this around you at all times. Stopped at a vintage shop, found something that I loved. It cost me just over $34 in US dollars, which, you know, I don't love to pay high prices, but this is a really cool vintage piece and I cannot wait to rock it in the future. Currently we're at the Spar, which is like their version of like a 7-Eleven. Celsius. He's been looking for some energy, but mostly they have like Red Bull and Monster, so he wasn't sure if there was like, also this one we have in the US, but that rainstorm one. Hold it, okay. Just got this vintage. So it currently is our last night in Dublin. I'm saying that as if we had a lot of time here, but we are about to grab some just kind of like quick pub food, and then we are going to a comedy club tonight. The plan is to pretty much do appetizers and maybe some drinks, because then we, like I said, are going to the comedy club just to check something out, do something different while we're traveling. You know, why not?
Besides the witchery, this might be our best meal.
It's up to you. Too much. Oh, not enough. We're at Kearney's Pub. Dad, how is the Guinness here?
It tastes like Guinness.
It's good to know. Noted. I know. I feel like this is such like a random thing to do, but I also feel like when you're traveling, this is kind of what it's all about, is just like going there, experiencing the culture. And I think part of experiencing the culture is also like I don't know, like really being a part of the community. And like we can understand the language here, which is amazing. They speak English, so like why not? You can kind of get a kind of a hint and a flavor of the culture through performances and things like this. So I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yes, and I would also be excited even if they didn't speak English. I heard that there's a decent amount of y'all watching right now that are not subscribed. No reason not to.
Popcorn's really good.
Am I supposed to say something else?
Evening is winding down. We had a great comedy show. We had some fun, some laughs.
When you go to a place, experience it for what it is, what it has to offer. Don't just go to see the sights and the sounds of the famous places, but I really encourage you to try and see the local places, see what they have to offer. For example, a comedy show, a local restaurant. You don't only have to go to the 5-star best things. Go experience the culture for what it is and keep living life. Everyone tell me where the best Guinness was. Which bar or location?
I like the Guinness at Guinness.
The one that you poured or the one that they poured for you?
The one that I poured actually was pretty good.
I like the one they poured for me at Guinness.
It's not fair. My highlight obviously was the Guinness factory or whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite beer. To be able to also understand and how it's poured and why it's poured a certain way was pretty cool. And I actually, even though I'm not an alcohol hard liquor drinker per se, I thought the Jameson tour was also very interesting. And learned something neat about the making of the whiskey and all that. So I thought the Dublin tour was probably the highlight per se of the trip.
Food was incredible at all the places we went.
The food
Yeah,
was
surprisingly.
All very unique. Yeah, the stews there.
wow. That was
The
amazing.
mussels were so good.
Yeah.
Catch you on
The flip side.